and plastic dreams, fast cars and magazines, long legs and pickup lines. You can have whatever's on your mind. Don't care how you get it, as long as you get it. 'Cause in this world you gotta look like money if you wanna make it. Taste like honey if you wanna.
Maria Gianni, do you take William Chandler as your lawfully wedded husband?
I do.
William Chandler, do you take Maria Gianni to be your lawfully wedded wife?
No. I do not. I wouldn't marry this heartless bitch if she was the last woman on earth. What's the matter, Maria? The heat getting to you?
You son of a bitch! I'll kill you!
That's enough. There'll be no violence here. This is no time for levity, Mr. Chandler.
Oh, I'm very serious. Perhaps you weren't aware that Maria Gianni is one of the most evil women in the world. Any man would have to be out of his mind to marry her.
What game do you think you're playing?
This isn't a game, Father. This is war.
You? Oh, yes. Me.
What the hell are you doing here?
Maria, haven't you figured it out yet? I helped orchestrate this. Oh, that's right. You run, honey, as fast as those skinny little legs will take you, because I am not finished with you. Well, if it isn't the woman who put the horror back in horrible.
How dare you come here? What the hell do you think you're doing?
Why, you left the church so quickly. I didn't even get a chance to offer my best wishes to the blushing bride.
Save your cheap wit for someone else.
Well, you would know from cheap, wouldn't you?
You still haven't answered my question.
Yes?
What are you doing here?
Use your brain, Maria.
At the wedding, you said something about using William Chandler to humiliate me in front of the world.
I wouldn't be so egocentric. I hardly think the whole world is watching your wedding. And I didn't use William. He thought this up all on his own.
I don't understand.
Well, you always were a little slow on the uptake.
If it's war you want, fine.
You know, that is so funny. That's exactly what William said at the wedding. Why am I not surprised that you'd appropriate it? You're so good at stealing things. Didn't you learn your lesson the first time? Actually, I thought you handled yourself rather well back there. You know, you held your head up high and walked down that aisle just like you were walking down a Gianni runway. Oh, here.
It's black.
Well, I had an idea the day might end badly.
You're not gonna get away with this.
Oh, but Maria, I already have.
You're insane.
Huh. And what is that adage about throwing stones at glass houses?
No!
Well, it was a cheap gift anyway.
Now get out of my house now before I have you thrown out.
Oh, so you have all the answers you want now. You are not the least bit curious why William and I conspired to do this to you? Oh, come on, honey. Why don't you make us both a drink? Sit down and let's have a little chat. This is gonna be one hell of a good time.
Don't get too comfortable. You have 5 minutes.
Oh, where to begin?
How about Charles Blakely?
You don't waste any time, do you?
Sophia, you just destroyed my wedding.
Your wedding was a sham.
We have something in common.
You're so good at twisting up events, aren't you? That used to really annoy me about you, but I've come to see it has its uses.
Twisting events? What are you talking about?
Are you forgetting that I'm the one who was married, Maria?
That makes you innocent?
Of adultery, yes. I was Charles Blakely's wife, and you destroyed my family.
I like to think I saved Charles from a life of misery at your side.
Oh, really?
Really?
And is that how you rationalize murdering him?
I didn't murder Charles Blakely.
Maybe not directly.
Or indirectly. Is that what this is all about? Charles was a hack artist with the spine of a...
And that, Maria, is how you do it.
How dare you!
I am not going to stand here and have you insinuate that my ex-husband's death was all his own fault.
Of course it was his fault, you idiot. He committed suicide.
With a little help from you.
If I remember correctly, I was already living in Los Angeles and married to Antonio Gianni when he killed himself.
Charles loved you.
At least we agree on that.
As much as it pained me to have to admit it to myself, I finally did, and I hated you all the more for it.
You can't blame me because he chose me over you. You can't make someone love you. Didn't know you were so sensitive.
Charles Blakely was a wonderful man, and you used him until you could find someone with more money.
I loved Antonio.
Oh, please. Antonio Gianni was a business deal for you. Just someone to help you set yourself up in the fashion business.
You don't know anything.
I know that when you dumped Charles, you destroyed him.
What was I supposed to do? Stay with him because he was heartbroken?
He died loving you, Maria. I mean, did that mean anything to you?
Yes. I was sad when I heard the news. But Sophia, we both know about his mood swings. The man wasn't well.
You destroyed him just like you destroyed my family. And I made a vow when I stood there and saw his body lowered into the ground that you would pay for it. One way or another.
So that's what this whole elaborate plan is about. Making me pay for your ex-husband's suicide? No, Sophia, put that down. Sophia, it's antique. You...
Whoops!
You evil witch!
No, I'll show you evil witch. Put a knife in the back of every person who ever cared about you. Friends, husbands, lovers. I am just gonna let the whole world see you for the monster you really are.
Are you finished yet?
Oh, Maria, that is the concept you keep failing to grasp. I am only just getting started, and I am gonna savor every moment of your destruction.
Is that all you've got? Because I'm getting bored.
Really? Gee, aren't you just the least bit curious how William Chandler fits into all of this?
This is some kind of sick joke.
Oh, don't feel too bad, Maria. I mean, you didn't care about me or our son when you stole Charles out of our lives. how could you be expected to remember he even had a son?
What? I slept with Charles' son? You're lying.
Am I?
I slept with Charles' son?
Well, it's actually a lot more complicated than that.
This is all your fault.
You know, from what I heard, you were very eager to jump into William's bed. It's really rather pathetic.
I'm gonna kill you.
Your presence.
I hate you.
Oh, stop. You're hurting my feelings.
You're a liar. You always have been.
Oh, that's right. The truth is a little difficult, isn't it?
There is no way that I have been sleeping with Charles Blakely's son.
I know. It's a little hard to take, isn't it? I mean, here you are, approaching 50, sleeping with the son of your ex-lover, your son's half-brother. My God, it's almost incestuous, isn't it? This is trashy even for you. Oh, I'll get it. Gentlemen, please come in. I think we could set it right against the wall over there. Oh, beautiful. You left the wedding so quickly. William wanted to make sure that you had the painting and the cake. He said you developed quite a sweet tooth. And I thought this would look just swell in the foyer here somewhere. You know, a constant reminder of your undying love. Well, I think I'll just leave you to tidy up here. It's been a long day. But we will be in touch. After all, my son practically owns the house of Gianni now, doesn't he?
What?
Do you remember the contract you signed for millions of dollars? You know, when Charles died, I was left penniless. It was awful. And I'm just so pleased that you're about to find out how that feels.
What?
You didn't think William burned that contract just because you said you were going to marry him, now did you? Oh, you did. Oh, this is gonna be so much more fun than I thought.
Sophia! It'll be a cold day in hell before you get my company.
Get ready for icy weather, honey.
I'll destroy you if it's the last thing I do.
I was done here anyway.
Did you see what that horrible woman did?
You know, I never thought you were worth a plug nickel in person, but in these pictures, you actually look rather pretty.
Did you come back for round 2?
Why would I, when I've already won?
You won't want anything.
Oh, what I have, don't you read the papers? No, just in case you missed it, I brought you these clippings to add to your scrapbook.
Okay, you can get out of my office now.
It won't be your office much longer.
You think you can just come here and take Gianni? I am Gianni.
That's not what I've heard.
Oh, and you speak as though you're the pulse of the fashion industry.
Oh, honey, everybody knows you've lost your spark.
I've lost nothing.
Well, maybe that's true. You know, you always did have a tendency to steal anything you were lacking.
Oh, do we have to go back to Charles again?
Oh, no. No, I'm actually talking about your famous Gianni original designs.
Okay, I've heard enough.
Always did have a short attention span.
You know, you're in my territory now. You should be very careful.
You broke Charles' heart to be with Antonio Gianni to start this little empire, so I think it's quite fitting that I'm the one who should bring it down.
Do your worst.
Don't have to tell me twice. Oh my goodness, what is that? The sound of time passing you by. You really should start packing.
You'll never destroy my company.
Well, then I guess you'll just have to come up with that $21 million you owe to William Chandler.
I have the money.
Oh, maybe with a little help from your son? I hear he has a very healthy trust fund.
You leave Luke out of this.
Oh, don't worry. William doesn't want to see his little brother hurt any more than he already has been. And you have a nice day. Maria, I was wondering when you'd show up to take all the credit for this.
Sophia, you have no right to be here.
I have every right to be here to check up on my company's interests.
This is not your company.
Oh, not yet. But 6 days can go by so fast.
Don't count me out so soon. It's a big mistake. I'm already gathering the funds.
Really? How?
Oh, selling off a trinket here, a trinket there. Like your ex-husband's wedding ring. In case you're interested, it's at the pawn shop in Beverly Hills.
Tacky, tacky, tacky. Let me just get right to the point, then. William and I have absolutely no interest in interfering with your search for the new face of Gianni or this silly charity fashion show.
So generous.
No, not at all. It can only enhance our company's image in the long run. But you should know that this is the end. Once this event is over, your services will no longer be required at Gianni.
Maria, how are you?
What the hell are you doing here?
Oh, Maria, you remember my son, William, don't you?
I want you to leave.
And I want you to treat the new owners of Gianni with a little more respect.
Oh, I think you're getting a little ahead of yourselves there.
You know, Maria, you've really outdone yourself. I mean, all of this for charity. And yet soon, you yourself will have nothing. It's ironic.
You know, but it's just like Maria, always putting everyone ahead of herself. Exactly where they belong.
Get out.
Oh, relax. We're just here to keep an eye on our company's interests.
Clock's ticking. We'll find our seats.
Oh, dear. You really did fall in love with him, didn't you?
Get out of my sight.
So happy to oblige.
Oh, no, not again.
Oh, I love this Michelle Miller. You know, she just has a way of letting the public see you as you really are. And just when you were starting to get away with that heartbroken victim act.
I thought I told you to stay away from here.
Oh, I know you did, but I just can't help myself.
Who's that?
Oh, that's George Serling.
The interior decorator?
Indeed.
Get out of here!
Oh, George, don't listen to her. George. Look what you had done. You scared them off, and he had such wonderful ideas for bringing this place into the 21st century.
This is still my company, Sophia.
Not for long.
And where's your devil child today?
Oh, William, you know, he's sleeping in today. He was so exhausted from spending the night with that model. You know, what's her name? Nikki.
Is that supposed to upset me?
You know, maybe that was just insensitive of me. I mean, here you had this young man you thought was madly in love with you, and not only does he humiliate you at the altar, but now he takes up with a younger woman. I mean, model.
That's enough.
This must just be tearing you apart. But then you know how men are with their new toys, having been one yourself.
Lexi, get her out of here.
And what do you think you're doing?
Taking out the trash.
You know, I am so tired of your silly barbs.
You have 30 seconds. Right this.
Don't touch me if you want to live, honey. I'll see myself out. After all, I will be back.
So you think you can just storm into my office unannounced and demand payment?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, why are we dragging this out? You know, we should just pack you a little bag and send you on your way. Ooh. You know, I don't like any of these.
Put those down.
I just can't wait to get to work on my new design house.
You'll never run Gianni.
Pay us back or we will.
Although, on the other hand, you have been synonymous with Gianni fashions for years, so it might be foolish to fire you.
That's true.
I could use an assistant.
Oh.
Please, don't do this.
It's really simple. Sophia, are we being unfair?
And you know, I don't think we are.
You've had plenty of time.
Oh, that's right, Maria. You just beg.
Maria, if I were you, I'd just go out the back door and keep walking.
You know, I think you got me this time. I just don't know what I'm going to do.
What are you doing?
Writing you a great big check for $21 million.
You're bluffing.
Am I?
Well, you don't have the money.
I guess you'll find out when you deposit it. You're not the only sleazebag with extra change in his pocket.
It's too late anyway.
Read your contract, lover boy. I have until 6 o'clock tonight. Now get the hell out of here.
Do something.
This isn't over.
I know. I'm not finished with you yet. Watch yourself. And you, why didn't you crawl back in that hole you came out of? Lexi, call security. Hey, you're here to change the bedpans?
Sure. Right on your head. Here's to a speedy recovery.
Couldn't afford a vase.
You know, the kid selling these things on the corner was fresh out. You don't look nearly as sick as I'd hoped.
You must be disappointed.
Devastated. How are things over at Gianni?
Fantastic. Are you and your son nursing your wounds?
Oh, hardly. You're not stupid enough to think we wouldn't have a contingency plan.
Oh, tell me all about it.
Oh, no. I want to let you just sweat it out. Heightens the anticipation.
We'll try to make it more challenging next time, okay? And what is this visit about? Are you here to poke fun at me?
How did you guess?
You crazy freak! What were you gonna shoot me with?
Oh, God, who knows? Something I pick up off the nurse's cart. You know, you gotta work with what you got.
You're insane! Guess what? I'm not as sick as you think.
Oh, believe me, honey, you are sick.
Oh! No! God, Sophia! Let me go! I'll be back. I'll be waiting. They said you were my lawyer.
Well, I did try to dress the part. And I brought you some reading material. It's not exactly legal tomes, but very interesting article about how John Cotter is running Gianni. Very insightful.
Goodbye, Sophia.
You know, this really could be goodbye. You're gonna be in there for a very long time. I dare say you might not even survive.
You should know by now never to underestimate me.
Oh, I do know that. But I also know Luke.
What about him?
I know he's an honest man. Must have inherited that from his father.
Get to your point.
My point is, I don't think Luke is gonna lie for you. Just not in his blood. And I can see by the look of fear in your eyes that you're thinking exactly the same thing.
Sophia, let me make something perfectly clear. Is that it? No wonder Charles left you for me. Pathetic lover. Oh! Waste of flesh. Oh! Thanks for the help.
Maria, what are you doing here?
I'm just enjoying the show.
Roll down the window. Roll down the window.
No,
More.
no,
Why, are you trying to protect yourself?
yeah. From your breath.
Get out of that car. Get out of that car!
I can't hear you.
Get out of the car!
Fine. What is your problem?
Oh, I think it's pretty obvious what my problem is.
You know, you're lucky I'm in a good mood today. Otherwise, you'd be going off to prison with your offspring felon son.
Oh, well, if this is you on a good day, I just can't wait to see what it's like when you get out on the wrong side of the coffin.
Don't push me.
Is that supposed to scare me?
Is your dress supposed to scare me? Next time I go to the 7-Eleven, I'm gonna look for it between the motor oil and the donuts.
Don't push me, Gianni.
You don't scare me, Grandma.
Ow! Ow! Oh, you better run! Don't come back. Well, I see you all started without us. You know, I do have something to say. Darling, would you hold that?
Of course.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Sophia Blakely, and I have one thought I'd like to share with everyone this afternoon. I think it's time we put the F-U-N back in funeral. From the first moment that I met Maria, I thought of her as a little sister. You know, the kind that just can't help but break into your closet, steal all your best stuff, and then trash it. And yet you can't help but admire her. Because if nothing else, Maria Gianni was a fighter. Yes, Maria was a fighter. And for that, she must always be respected.
Your cocktail, Miss Collette.
Thanks, Billy.
Bad news?
Nothing I can't handle.
Here's your cocktail, Miss Sophia.
Oh, thank you.
Enjoying yourself?
Oh, honey. For the first time in my life, I haven't got a care in the world. What's not to love?